You know, guys, I don't want to say that I saw this coming, but I definitely saw it coming. You know, you can only screw over your community so many times before people finally start speaking up just a little bit more, and not just the smaller guys down here, not the underground guys like myself. I mean like the really top of the top guys. And you know, when it comes to the production of these games, yes, a lot of this does fall on the devs. The devs make some pretty unusual, irrational, just overall stupid decisions that just make no sense at all, that completely go against what the community is wanting. And not all the time, but sometimes you can look past it and you start looking towards the publishers, the people at the very top of the food chain. And eventually, like I told you guys, you can only screw over so many people so many times before they finally start to crack. And that is exactly what happened here. Now, before I go any further, I just want to point this out because I thought it was kind of coincidental. 2 weeks from today, 1 year ago, I put out a video called A Message to Activision, where I did one of the boldest things I've ever done on this channel. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching it because it sort of, a little bit, ties into what's going on in this video today. Now, if you guys don't know, and I know a lot of you guys already do because it's a couple of days late, NADESHOT, the owner of 100 Thieves, the owner of Los Angeles Thieves for the CDL, my man was trying to play Warzone a couple of days ago. He was trying to go for the nuke with his homies. To get the nuke in Warzone, I think you need to win 5 games in a row or something like that. He and his team get the first 4, and as he's going for the 5th, his game crashes. And if you haven't seen it, I know a lot of people have, but it's honestly worth watching over and over and over again. This was his reaction.
We get to the 5th fucking game and my shit crashes on a fucking state-of-the-art PC, 3090, i9 maxed out, spec'd out, 5 grand on this fucking thing for this dumbass fucking game to crash. I mean, I know I sound like a whiny little bitch about a video game, but Jesus Christ. Fix your fucking shit. You just made $1 billion! And you've done it every year! Every fucking year! You have made $1 billion+ from this game! And I can't even fucking play it! Holy shit!
You know, guys, this is exactly what I mean. This happened to Exclusive Ace a couple of weeks ago when Season 1 launched. The same thing happens here to NADESHOT. For a quick second, for just a glimpse, it's like he taps into Ultra Instinct. NADESHOT became Scatmaster NADESHOT for at least a couple of seconds. Now, he did backtrack on this a little bit because it is a little unprofessional for the position that he's in, but regardless, I mean, he was speaking from the heart, he was speaking the truth, and it's funny because I say a lot of the same things here. I've expressed this whole sentiment of how is it that this game is in this state with this many problems, with these specific problems like crashing, for example. Meanwhile, the publishers and the developers are generating so much money, an ungodly amount of money every single year. And in this game specifically, $1 billion in like 5 days or something like that. That's an absurd amount of money. I can't even imagine what they're at right now. I can't imagine what MW 2019 was at by the end of its life cycle. Same thing with Cold War. And even to an extent, the same with Vanguard. By the end of this game's life cycle, I have no idea what that number would be, but I'll tell you one thing. No matter what the fucking number is, if you are already hitting 1 billion in 5 days, that money needs to get the hell out of Bobby Cosby's pockets, given to the devs, and have them work on this fucking game, have them clear up these bugs, have them clear up these issues, have them update the game to get rid of any difficulties that people could have. People have been talking about crashing in this game and in Warzone since the two respectively launched. It doesn't matter what your setup is. It doesn't matter what the optimization is. The times that I've talked about the party system breaking, the times I've talked about my game crashing and freezing, the times I've talked about lag spikes and packet bursts, some of these gooch lickers start saying things like, oh well, maybe it's because you need to get better internet. Maybe you're just not optimized enough. You need to get a PC. Yes, I'm sure NADESHOT needs to further optimize his PC. I'm sure he needs to get a better setup. Fucking NADESHOT of all people. And then there's also people who are like, oh, you're just hating for views, Fooly. Yeah, same thing with NADESHOT, right? NADESHOT's hating for fucking views? Definitely, NADESHOT needs views, yep. At some point, some of you gooch lickers can't keep on defending Activision because they have the resources available to make easy shit happen, and they simply don't. And now, like I've mentioned time and time again, when people start feeling like they're getting screwed over, they're gonna start talking. Same thing goes for NADESHOT right here. Same thing goes for Exclusive Ace a couple of weeks ago. Same thing goes for Prestigious Key. Same thing goes for all of the COD pros who are complaining about their private matches not even being able to start because of a fucking bug in the game. People will eventually start speaking up. Yes, of course, there's so many casuals in this game that it doesn't matter if 3 pros and 4 content creators stop playing the game. It doesn't matter if they stop buying the game. This game is going to generate an insane amount of money regardless. Unfortunately, for how many casuals there are, it's not as easy as saying, oh, just don't buy the game. Not all the time, but sometimes you need to purchase the product, realize how shitty it is, and then get on your platform. Doesn't matter what size platform it is. It could be a channel like mine with 11,000 subs. It could be somebody like Exclusive Ace with hundreds of thousands of subs. It could be fucking NADESHOT. When people start getting screwed over and the product is not good, people are gonna start bringing more awareness to it. Now, some of you guys might disagree, but I think what I'm doing right now is better than if I just never played this game ever. Yes, Infinity Ward and Activision would have not gotten my $70, but if I didn't play this game and I didn't experience some of these things, I wouldn't make these videos getting hundreds or thousands of views to bring awareness to other people and have them possibly not purchase the game, or they themselves start spreading awareness too. I personally think it's better to do it that way. I don't understand why people start defending Activision like they're some fucking saints. I mean, you guys know about Bobby Cosby. I don't need to explain what's wrong with him. What are they doing with the billions of dollars that they're generating? I don't know. Maybe they're buying dildos to harass women in the workplace again. What I do know is it's not actually going into the production of this game. And I mean that both for Warzone 2 as well as multiplayer. If you guys think it's bad on Warzone, multiplayer is getting the shortest end of the stick. If Activision is generating $1 billion in 5 days, I don't understand how they possibly couldn't have upped the production for Season 1 and given us more than 1 map at launch, a second one in a few weeks, and then nothing until February 1st. That's fucking ridiculous. I don't care if you gooch lick Joe Seacott, I don't care if you motorboat Bobby Cosby's ass cheeks. That amount of content in a game this prestigious is not acceptable for the amount of money that they're generating. Put some money behind the multiplayer. Please fund the production of more multiplayer maps. Get us more content for 6v6 multiplayer. And no, I don't mean microtransactions. I don't mean $25 bundles with car horns and stickers and a camo for 1 gun. I mean actual content that is significant to the game, that's gonna push the game forward. Please invest money into that. I don't know where this money's going. Clearly it's not going to multiplayer, and by the sounds of it, it's not even going to Warzone 2. And I don't want people to get this twisted. I'm not salty about NADESHOT crashing. I'm not even as upset as he is. All I'm saying is, now you're finally starting to see these content creators that would oftentimes not say anything. Now they're finally speaking up. Why? Because for how much production went into this game, for the expectations that we have for Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare series, these sort of problems should not be happening. In the beginning of this video, I mentioned that one video that I made a year ago. In that video, I talked about how Activision was harassing women in the workplace. They were getting away with it. They had lawsuits on lawsuits on lawsuits, and people were still defending them. This time around, not only are those lawsuits still in the air, by the way, they have another lawsuit on their hands for collusion, which is not a good thing for the acquisition that we're still waiting on. On top of all of that mess, the community that is actively funding you, the community that is giving you money, you're just blueballing your community at this point with the lack of quality going into multiplayer, going into Warzone. I'm hearing that DMZ is pretty good, so congrats to you guys. I wish we could say the same thing over here, but for the last 3 years, dating back to 2019, this is the 4th COD title since then, we've been seeing the decline in quality, in enjoyability from Call of Duty titles. I don't know, man. I'm glad that people are finally starting to open their eyes to this. this. I'm glad there's a lot more awareness towards it because a lot of this shit is not acceptable at all. I'm glad that bigger content creators are finally speaking up about it, but holy shit, man, some of these gooch liquors, I don't know, guys. There's something in the water they're drinking, man. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Do you think other content creators should speak up on things like this? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
It's been a very